All right, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Jordan Evans. I guess it's the morning still. It's 11:30 at this time, almost the afternoon as we get ready for a very hot afternoon here in the DC area. Tracking your forecast with excessive heat today and then more storm chances through the weekend. The good news is temperatures do eventually look to come down as we go into tomorrow, Sunday, and then next week. Looks like a slight drop in that humidity as well. Getting the Facebook Live video pulled up so we can take a look at that here. Feel free to chime in with your comments. We can put them on screen and answer them live, both for our Facebook audience and for our YouTube audience. We are currently live on both platforms. So talk to me for a little bit. I do have to get back on the air here shortly, and I have to do some radio with our partners at WTOP. I have to do some live weather for them as well coming up shortly. So we'll take you through the forecast and then more to come on 7 News at noon. Heat index right now, it's 1132. It's already feeling like 103. Ashburn, 111 there at a site outside the Beltway on the east side. That may be a bit high for some spots. Most of the metro area in general is around 100 to 104. Some spots still in the 90s, although these sensors are not always updating at the same time. So again, it is definitely hot out there, not even noon yet, just getting close to lunchtime as we track the excessive heat for today. So let's look at this together. As we zoom things out, we'll go ahead and go through the heat alerts first. The excessive heat warning, we'll start with that. That's for areas along and to the east of I-95. So that includes DC, Prince George's County, down toward Anne Arundel County, southern Maryland, northern neck. Humidity is just slightly higher east of I-95, so that's going to keep the heat index closer to 110. Also includes the Baltimore metro area. For the rest of us, that's a heat advisory there. That starts at noon, goes until 8 o'clock. So the rest of the counties shaded in the orange. Heat index up to 105, 108, depending on where you are. Farther west, I-81, humidity slightly lower. So again, still hot enough though for heat advisory there for places like Woodstock, Winchester, Martinsburg, and Hagerstown there in Maryland as well. So we'll play out one of the models. We'll show you the temperature forecast. This is from the National Weather Service. Good data from them, of course, as we take a look at this here through the rest of the afternoon. Notice out to the west, we do have some showers that we're tracking in western Maryland, so that is actually keeping the temperatures down. So Garrett County, not too bad right now. But take a look at 4 or 5 o'clock, anywhere from 105 to 109. There's a couple of spots at 110, 111 there from the Leonardtown, Calvert, Charles County there in southern Maryland. So again, 4 to 5 p.m., that's going to be the hottest time of the day. By this evening, for Friday evening plans, look at 7 o'clock. Still feeling like 99 in DC. By the time we get toward 10, 11 o'clock, late night plans, our heat index still in the upper 80s. So it's going to be mild and muggy, gross out there this evening. We may get some showers to try to move in later today. That may bring some heat relief, but once the rain clears out, of course, it stays humid, quite humid, I should say, behind the shower chances. So that's a look at the heat for today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the threats for any storms. We'll start with the severe weather threat potentially. Once again, from the Storm Prediction Center, that is a level 1, so it's considered a marginal risk for all of us. We've had this the last several days, and some days have performed with rain, some days have not. So really that means is not everyone's going to get severe weather, but any storms that do develop will have the chance to be strong to potentially severe with some gusty winds, some heavy rain, lightning. There may be some isolated flooding concerns or some small hail, but overall the severe weather threat's pretty low. So that's today. That's tomorrow. Does not include Cumberland up toward the Hagerstown area, but for the rest of the DC I-95 corridor, still going to have that low risk for severe weather on your Saturday. And then Sunday, we finally get to clear out some of the moisture. I think some lower humidity will try to work in, and that should take away the severe thunderstorm chances, or at least the risk for severe weather there on your Sunday. Now to the models. Here's the future radar as we play out the one of the in-house models. This is known as the HRRR. Does a pretty good job in the short term. So the next 18 hours, we can take you through the rest of the afternoon. 3 to 4 o'clock, then the thunderstorms start to go out to the west, just like the last couple of days. Loudoun County getting a couple of showers and storms. Prince William County eventually in toward Fairfax County, 5 or 6 p.m. as well. Notice the coverage. It's still very isolated, so not everyone's going to get the rain, but if you do get the rain, one, consider yourself lucky because we need it with the drought conditions, but two, you'll get some heat relief with the shower as well. Unfortunately, though, if any storm is strong, though, you may get some gusty winds out of it too. By 8 to 9 o'clock, the rain coverage starts to go away. Still may have a few leftover showers east of I-95, but I think most of us will stay quiet overnight. I'll be back here early tomorrow morning with Kelly Lynn. We'll be tracking the latest with news, weather for your Saturday morning on 7 News at 8 a.m. So we'll take a look at fresh data for any of the storm chances as we go into Saturday. We'll show you another computer model, but we'll start this model on Saturday. This one goes out just a little bit further in time for Saturday. So we're starting the morning hours dry, mostly sunny to partly cloudy, passing clouds, and eventually more cloud cover for the afternoon. Could we get some storms to start as early as 2 to 3 o'clock? That is possible. The model changes every 4 to 6 hours, but at least the timing, I think, has been consistent. Anytime during the afternoon to evening. Here's 5 o'clock, still pretty scattered. The coverage is a little bit better than today. For tomorrow, it's a little more widespread, especially from DC up to Baltimore. So 7 to 8 p.m. Still could have some rounds of heavy rain, some gusty winds, some lightning's possible in the strongest storms. Eventually, things start to move out of here and quiet down just before midnight, and the rest of Sunday looking pretty dry. I still can't rely on an isolated shower or storm for your Sunday, but at least the chance for that, I think, is much lower. And the chance of that being any on the stronger side is also pretty low, I think, for the rest of tomorrow, or Sunday, excuse me, into early next week. So that's what we're looking at for the future cast. Excessive heat today, storm chances for tomorrow. Just in the long term, here's a look at the comfort forecast. When do we finally get a break from this humidity? Well, a slight drop for early next week. That's going to be Monday there. Let me remove myself. That way we can take this full screen. So Monday there, then we'll call it the air you can wear category for early next week. Tuesday, Wednesday. So slight drop. It won't be as humid, but still quite humid again as we go through early next week. And then potentially we got to watch what's going on in the tropics, as we now have the latest potential tropical cyclone 4. That was just issued from the National Hurricane Center in their latest advisory, basically giving the area down here in Southwest Florida, it was given a 90% chance for development. And then as of 11 o'clock here, 38 minutes ago, they decided to issue that as a potential tropical cyclone 4. So we now have a cone of uncertainty from the National Hurricane Center. So join me on 7 News at noon. We'll take a look at that cone, where the storm will develop, likely off the coast of Florida, but where it potentially may go. I'll just go ahead and tell you the models have not been consistent at all in terms of where the storm would track for early next week. There is an opportunity for potentially us to get some rain and some much needed moisture from it going into next weekend. So we'll have to pay attention to it closely again as we track that system there developing off the coast of Florida. Definitely bringing a lot of rain to the Sunshine State for early next week. So if your travel plans are there, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, definitely plan on some wet weather, potentially washout days for the beaches. So you'll want to pay attention to the forecast as this storm develops. Join us on 7 News at noon, the latest with news and weather, and we'll take a look at that potential tropical cyclone and the latest with our excessive heat.